And I think we are live, right, Ajay?
Live.
Finally,
Yes, we
yeah,
are
we
live.
are live. And
Ciao, ciao.
ciao, ciao, guys, everyone who is about to join us and people who have already joined us. I can already see कि थोड़े comments आ गए, especially from Deepu, जो regular है इस channel पे. Appreciated. We will definitely get to the comments. Good evening to you also, Deepu. Good evening to Ajay bhai, who is with me again.
Good
कैसे हो
evening.
Ajay bhai? How are you doing?
Good, good. Bonacera. Very, very hyped about the Italy-Spain game and
Yeah, yeah.
especially culture. All the three games were very interesting. तो काफी मजा आ रहा
हाँ.
है Euros को
हाँ, बहुत
follow
मजा आ
किया.
रहा है. Definitely go, welcome to everyone in the chat and definitely अभी और there will be more panelists joining us. अभी तो फिलहाल मैं और अजय भाई स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. बट ऑब्वियसली
Right.
आज का टॉपिक पॉइंट ऑफ डिस्कशन है स्पेन और इटली की एक प्रीव्यू करना. थोड़ा जल्दी कर रहे हैं बिकॉज वी हैव अदर स्टफ ऑन आवर माइंड टू पुट आउट इन द नेक्स्ट फ्यू डेज बिफोर द गेम. सो आई वी थॉट की प्रीव्यू थोड़ा पहले कर दे. एंड ऑब्वियसली वी आर एनीवेज थोड़ा बिजी इधर उधर, तो जिधर भी टाइम मिलता है हम लोग निकालेंगे. बट दीपू, पहले दीपू के कमेंट्स चले थे, देन लेट्स स्टार्ट अ बिट ऑफ कैजुअल डिस्कशन बिफोर मोर पीपल जॉइन अस, अजय भाई. So yeah, this was from Goal Italia. इस पे आएंगे. Deepu's Palletti is thinking of
We'll
starting
come to this.
Cristante.
We'll come to this.
Yes, there are conflicting reports. उस पे मैं आता हूँ. ये Goal Italia और Corsport ये रिपोर्ट कर रही है what Deepu said, and Gazzetta is reporting something else. So we will see. Thoughts, Deepu, definitely. We will get to the thoughts. Just to start on a light note, Ajay भाई. कल बिफोर वी गेट इनटू स्पेन इटली, यार थोड़ा एक पॉइंट ऑफ डिस्कशन था. ओ माय गॉड, दिस अकाउंट.
Yes. यार मेलोनी का मोदी आपने मेरा चैनल सब्सक्राइब किया नहीं है. मैं बैठ के देखता हूँ कौन किया है कौन नहीं किया है. तो जाके एएम टॉक स्पोर्ट को सब्सक्राइब करो.
आई विल पुल
बिकॉज
अप द
मेलो
चैनल.
देशवासी को सपोर्ट करो भाई. मैंने इटली
हाँ,
का जर्सी पहना हुआ है.
yeah, I will pull up the channel and share the screen. But until then, Ajay bhai and everyone in the chat, I want to get your views here. कल का गेम
कल की
स्लोवाकिया
गेम.
वर्सेस बेल्जियम वर्सेस स्लोवाकिया. व्हाट अ गेम. पहली तो एक और अपसेट. हम मैंने और अजय भाई ने प्रीव्यू पे डिस्कस किया था उस दिन प्रेडिक्शंस के दिन कि दिस इज सॉर्ट ऑफ ओपन एंडेड बिकॉज काल्जोना, फ्रांचेस्को काल्जोना इज एक्चुअली अ गुड कोच. नापोली में थोड़ा उसका, बिकॉज नापोली है, नापोली उसकी थोड़ी रेप्यूटेशन खराब हो गई, बट अ वेरी गुड कोच. And while they had to survive, Ajay bhai, they survived. And the main talking point of this, kudos to Slovakia, but the main talking point of this is Mr. Romelu Lukaku. Deepu says
भाई
he has a connection because he has a soft spot for Newcastle and Chelsea, and he
या
hates Lukaku. So understandable. And he's a Belgium fan, funnily enough.
या
so so
बट भाई
so
आई थिंक परम यही है
हाँ,
कि विद चेल्सी एंड इंटर फैंस इट इज
हाँ,
वेरी क्लियर लाइक दे हेट हिम
हाँ, हाँ,
completely. There is literally no fan who likes Lukaku.
हाँ,
मैन यूनाइटेड के बारे में आई थिंक थोड़ा डिवाइडेड है. कुछ लोग हैं जो लुकाकू को सपोर्ट करते हैं
yeah,
एंड बाकी तो रोमा ही जस्ट प्लेड 1 year ऑन लोन. तो
yeah,
दैट 1 year ही वाज वेरी प्रोफेशनल एज आई
yes,
हैव मेंशन्ड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स कि भाई उसने कोई कंट्रोवर्सी किया नहीं. कोई भी मतलब वो घोस्टिंग नहीं किया व्हाट्सएप पे. प्रोफेशनल
yes,
परफॉर्मेंस. उसने फैंस को थैंक यू बोला. फैंस अप्रिशिएट हिम एंड एंड
yeah.
ऑफ स्टोरी. वेरी वेरी सरप्राइजिंग. And he was not bad either. Like he definitely got some big goals. And
Yeah,
like I would like to remind you that even though he didn't get that goal, the Dybala ka goal tha in the Europa League, the way that he held up the ball with his
yeah,
physique, and
yeah,
that was like proper Lukaku. But पता नहीं
uh,
क्या होता है यार उसका जो क्या बदकिस्मत है ना. वो जो बदकिस्मती है वो उसके पीछे ही मंडराते रहते हैं. 7.5 है
yeah,
शायद लुकाकू के
yeah,
ऊपर. क्योंकि भाई क्या कैसे चांसेस मिस किया उसने यार. और दो
yeah.
बार उसे बॉल नेट के अंदर डाल दिया एंड दैट वाज रूल्ड आउट बाय वीएआर.
Yeah, I mean, he missed those early chances. एक तो वो एकदम start में जो था, and then apart from that, there was that one moment where he failed to control the ball, जो उसको through
या
ball आई थी. But Deepu makes a good point. We are just glossing over this game here. We are not going into depth. He says KDB was also invisible, pocketed by Slovakian mids. That's true. Plus, who made the error after all? Jeremy Doku with his stupid, unnecessary skills. अगर वही, not that Lukaku is known for those skills. What if he would have done it? Double criticism उसको मिलती, right? But anyways, the talking point was how unlucky is this guy because एक गोल मारा, कैंसल, ऑफसाइड था, चलो. सेकंड गोल, comments में you let us know what did you think. Do you think it was right to rule that goal out? Because on the panel yesterday, Evra and David James were like it was wrong. I disagreed with them because for me handball is handball. It's as simple as that, right? It's a rule. Maybe the rules need to change a bit in regards to how much impact there needs to be or whatever, but as of today we know that the hand is an illegal part in terms of the game, obviously. And handball tha, and the margins, Ajay bhai, ridiculous. The fine margins,
Very fine margins. Very fine margins. I think,
uh,
I think the game was, maybe it was a even Steven or a draw would have been
uh,
fair to both teams, but Slovakia pulling this off is the
yeah,
first upset, the major upset of Euro 2024 for sure.
yeah,
Matlab, it is, no one saw this coming, right? I mean,
yeah,
although it was an open-ended game, अपन ने भी
yeah.
predict किया कि शायद Belgium will scrape through with their quality that day, but भाई साहब मतलब
No,
ये
yeah, I mean,
tournament is full of surprises.
yesterday, I agree with you. The Euros has brought us surprises. We will get to Spain, Italy now, but yesterday, obviously, we also had, not to gloss over it again, but Romania versus Ukraine was also sort of a surprise. Wo game to mast tha. But let's take some comments, Ajay bhai, before we move into the game. Where did we go? Indro Hari 1908 says Cristante Mancini Retegi absolutely Spalletti will play 3-5-2 with Chiesa as second striker. That could be. We will now delve into it. We will definitely delve
We will
into
get
it.
into it. Get into it.
Deepu says
Stay,
Lukaku.
stay, stay with us.
Yeah, stay with us if you can. Deepu says Lukaku. By the way, I don't think Indro Hari is Indian because I've seen his account. I think he's Indonesian, if I'm not wrong. I've seen his account on Twitter. So we'll
Oh,
try to
yeah.
obviously mix out the language for you if you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
stay
yeah, yeah.
patient on that regard. We try to juggle between Hindi and English. So hope you don't
English.
mind.
By
Yeah.
the way, Param, I know for sure that Inter, Roma, Serie A clubs have such a massive fan base in Indonesia.
Indonesia is,
Or
yeah, by the way, for our community, just to know, ki outside Italy, Serie A has a big fan following in Indonesia. Huge. You have fans from Inter, Juve, AC Milan, obviously AS Roma, Lazio, Fiorentina. You even have Parma, Sampdoria, Torino, Udinese fans. You have a massive Serie A fan following over there. These are just a
and
few clubs.
you have Raja Nainggolan playing in Indonesia right now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah. And
of
so
Indonesian descent.
of course, Ajay bhai, how did I forget? You also have a lot of Como fans with the Indonesian owner.
Ah, how can you forget? Yeah, Como
Yeah,
fans. We have.
exactly. So we'll get to the point. Melonika Modi says, I love upsets unless it's in politics. Indro Hari 1908 says, Mancini as right centre back is better than Di Lorenzo plus midfield of Cristante. Jorginho Barella is not a bad option. Fair point, fair point. We will definitely, as I said, delve into it. You're making very good points. दीपू बोल रहा है केडीबी ऑल्सो इनविजिबल हाँ ये तो देख लिया मेलोनी
We
का
did this.
मोदी
We did this.
people might hate me but KDB for Belgium is average. I
I
don't
think
want
the
to say much.
golden generation has been average overall. मतलब
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like to pinpoint on one player उसको scapegoat बनाओ like, but if a generation does not achieve at least final तक तो जाओ तुम पहले knockout में तुम you falter.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not kind of a good golden generation in my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Deepu says Dekoiper should have started. Yeah, because Carrasco is not your traditional left back, and Dekoiper, at least even if he's raw, he's at least familiar with that position. So Melonika Modi says bad goalkeeping from Lunin. हाँ definitely उसने first goal पे तो error की. So I think Ajay bhai, let's get to the point.
Yeah,
We
let's
have
get to
we
the
have yeah, we'll get to Spain, Italy right now. We have around 8 people. So जो भी 8 लोग हैं, thank you for joining us. We are on our journey to now 600 subscribers. 500 क्रॉस हो गए हैं. वी वांट टू गेट टू 600. सो अगर आप तक आपने सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया अब तक तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब करो. अगर आप जानते हो जो लोग फॉलो कर रहे हैं नहीं कर रहे इस चैनल को, प्लीज रिकमेंड आवर चैनल टू देम इफ यू लाइक आवर कंटेंट. सो दैट विद दैट बीइंग सेड अजय भाई, लेट्स गेट टू इट. Ravindra asks, anyone else prefers Vicario or Donnarumma? We will get to this. We'll get to this question as we are previewing. By the way, I'll pull this up right now. Just to start with, we'll start with some team news, Ajay bhai. Just give me one second. Until then, just give me 1 second. If you want to answer that anyways, Ajay bhai, until then, I'm just pulling stuff up. The Ravindra's comment.
Yeah, I think for me, it's always going to be Donnarumma or Vicario, yeah. 100% it's going to be Donnarumma or Vicario. And I think the best person to say that is Chintan Bhai, who's in the house.
Oh,
hello,
he's
boys.
here.
Hello, boys.
Chintan Bhai, what's up?
Chintan Bhai, welcome.
Yes,
What's up,
we are all high on Azuri victory.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely. But I think I've Ajay bhai, if you could share the screen. Barella is in the chat. I have been confused as of late. Yeah, Aloo Biryani is back. He says hi. Ayan Das is back 3 or back 4. Yes, we are getting to that. Ayan. Barella says my goat Chintan has arrived. मतलब timing बराबर है. Barella आ गया, Chintan भी आ गया. चलो. So let's get to team news. Ajay bhai, I'll start with Chintan bhai since he's just joined in. Then I'll get your opinion.
Yeah.
If you don't. Obviously कल की news है कि obviously now everybody is available for training. Agioli was also there for training, but they just want to see if he can make it to the game. Obviously 100% है कि नहीं वो देखना पड़ेगा. And there was a specific focus on training wherein on the, basically possession of the ball on a reduced size, and only Barella basically was in that orange bib receiving passes. Very interesting. Is there something else Spalletti is brewing here? Because शायद वो deeper role में खेले, but I'll get to it. And the day before, Chintan bhai, he had a training for the non-used players or players that played less in the first game. He played a 4-2-3-1 for them with Darmian, Mancini, Buongiorno, Cambiaso, so on. And Gatti Bellonova, Folorunsho were a part of the Dortmund under-18 team. So starting with you, Chintan bhai, the main question here is the news coming out. This is from Gazzetta dello Sport. Okay, I'll give you two versions. This is from Gazzetta dello Sport, wherein Scamacca, you have 4-2-3-1 with Scamacca, Barella as in an advanced role, Chiesa, Pellegrini, Jorginho, Cristante, Mancini, Bastoni, Di Marco, Di Lorenzo, or Donnarumma. Whereas, if you can pull up Deepu's comment, Ajay bhai, the previous one, Goal Italia wala, only if you can quickly pull it up. Chintan bhai shortly saying कि उसमें where from Corsport and Goal Italia you have this one starting. You have, I think,
Retegui is the only one.
Retegui, Cristante, Retegui starting instead of Scamacca. So, Chintan bhai, what are your opinions? Do you think Spain के against थोड़ा change लगेगा, because this is a completely different side? Obviously, this is a game where Italy will probably see less of the ball, and you probably need to have defenders that are going to measure up physically better off. So what do you think over here? What do you think of the potential changes that are being reported?
Yeah. I think मैंने last time हम लोगों ने बात किया था. I always felt that with Fratesi था, मतलब he's very good with off the ball, but उसका technical abilities might be tested when it comes to Spain. So I was pretty sure वो तो bench होने वाला था. I would have, of course, I told you last time, a Fagioli, Barella, and a Jorginho midfield would look fantastic, but I don't think he's going to risk Fagioli, because he knows it's just a one. I know it's a very important game, but after the first victory, Spain ka game, of course, important, lekin he has to see later on in the tournament. I feel this might happen, and Calafiori, I think, is a little attacking. We saw him carry the ball quite a few times. तो शायद वो सोच रहा होगा कि that किधर possession lose कर दिए might be difficult. And what people forget with Mancini, he's a hard tackler. He's the one who gets into you, and we saw that against Leverkusen also. That वो छोड़ेगा नहीं, and you with this Spanish side, with them holding the ball, you need to interrupt their play, disrupt their play, the flow तोड़ना पड़ेगा. So I think for that, Mancini is amazing. And with Cristante, I think Cristante is amazing. The thing is, he's like a jack in the box. He plays everywhere. Of course, Ajay knows the best. He can play anywhere on the pitch. Goalkeeper भी खेल लेगा मुझे लग रहा है एक बार तो. So I think with Barella, Jorginho, and Cristante, he's going to pack the midfield. I think काफी narrow रखेगा. And of course, Barella being the most gifted midfielder in Italian squad. So the onus will be on, of course, Chiesa is going to be a go-through man. And I think Kaustubh said it last time. Against a team like Spain, you need Retegui, वो Retegui लगेगा. Ball आने नहीं वाला है उसके पास, direct नहीं खेलने वाले, बहुत कम खेलेंगे. So probably that might be the reason, but I won't be surprised ये खेलेगा. Harsh on Calafiori, to be honest, but against Spain, आज तो अजय कोई तो बोला ना. I read somewhere today that some of the Italian players said that Spain is technically more gifted, so we are going to.
Yeah, Fratesi said it उसके कल के conference में. I'll pull it up. He definitely said it, because, and I think he was spot on as well. वो देखो.
Of course. And see, we have played them twice already, right? We played them in the semi-final. अपना ये friendly में भी खेले tournament में, so we lost to them. So they know what has happened is Italy were trying to play the Spain game against Spain. I don't think that is going to work. You can't beat them in their own backyard. They have to play their own DNA. They have to use their arch.
Chintan, I think this time the Spanish setup is slightly different. It's more direct, less tiki-taka.
Yeah, but you're right. But Ajay, but you know what? All these Spanish players, मैं last time बोला था, it's something what it is in their DNA. So they are brought up with that. They're naturally very gifted with the ball on their feet. They are used to having ball on their feet. वो press, मतलब उनको इतना affect नहीं करता है. They'll hold the ball. They're very calm with the ball. Not many country wise you see a lot of players coming out who are so gifted. So technical ability, you can't match them. They can switch plays like that. Long balls. We saw अजय बात किया हम लोगों ने यमाल कैसा खेला है. 16-year-old, the confidence with the ball on his feet. And we've seen Busquets over the years, कितना काम, 3 लोग press कर रहे हैं, उसे ball घुमा के बाहर निकाल रहा है. So the best, what I like about it is Italy has identified that Fratesi Bola. That means its Spalletti is already brewing something. So that is something very important. So I feel this is. I won't be surprised. Harsh on Califiori, but I won't be surprised by this.
What are your thoughts, Ajay bhai? Because I feel actually benching Calafiori is the right thing because he's not as physically dominant as the people made it out to be after
Yeah.
the first game. To be honest, कुछ
And
ज़्यादा
fourth,
सा
though, this is just, the aura just,
yeah, that I'm
Twitter went
bored of
mad,
that
and
one.
I think a lot of casuals discovered
Yeah,
Calafiori for the first time.
yeah,
तो वही था, तो देख अपन स्टार्ट से बोल रहे थे कि यार playing Bastoni and Calafiori will, it's not sustainable in long term. Both are
yeah,
similar players, left-footed center backs, uh, slightly different obviously. And point is that Albania is the game that you can do this experiment with all due respect to them. I think they are the weakest amongst Spain and Croatia. So
fair.
against Spain, like Chintan said, I think we need a little more physicality, a little more physical
I
presence,
agree.
someone to get into their heads. And who better than Mancini? I mean, he is going to rile up Alvaro Morata for sure. To देख
Yeah,
उसको कैसा वो rile up, अगर वो खेले तो he will rile
yeah,
him up. He will
yeah,
ensure that he'll get a yellow card. वो भी
yeah.
guaranteed है. अगर कोई betting कर रहे हैं तो put a bet on Mancini getting a yellow card for sure. So it's midfield में I think Cristante का वही है. He is he's that non-stop runner. Technically, again, he's not most elegant player, but he gets
Yeah,
the job done. He gets the
yeah.
job done. So मेरे हिसाब से those are the qualities that probably Spalletti is going to go for in this game. So
Yeah,
interesting. अगर ये lineup है, it's quite a good setup because it is basically Spalletti trying to negate Spain in those particular
I
areas.
I agree, and I feel I'll pull up Jorginho's press conference in a while. But I also feel like this lineup has to do with when they are under pressure, when Spain have the ball, and when they are also turning up the heat by being more direct, which we saw with Yamal, जिसके साथ देखा, even with Nico
Uh,
Williams,
Nico
and the
Williams.
space they had opened through the middle when Croatia had pushed up. I think this is one way to kind of counter that in the sense when with these three players, especially with I feel Cristante, not the most polished player as you said, but उसकी जो profile है game की, I think there will be moments where Italy will try to, off the ball, try to manage the spaces and everything, and that's why
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that clip, Spalletti, constantly shouting at Fratesi, not in a bad way, obviously. He was saying, get out of the traffic, basically get out of all the overcrowded midfield. And I think that's where Fratesi is still growing, in terms of how to understand his positioning, this, that. He's a young player. Obviously, here you need experience where you need someone like a Cristante right now. Fagioli, जैसे चिंतन भाई ने बोला, he's not obviously that destroyer type role plus like Cristante, but anyways he's not fully fit right now as of this
Yeah.
stream. Whether or not he will be fit by the game we don't know, and whether or not he will be 100% वो तब का तब देखना पड़ेगा. So as of now I don't mind this lineup. But by the way we'll take comments until we move on to the next section. और आपके कोई lineup preferences है वो भी डालो. अजय भाई थोड़े comments ले लेते हैं.
Yeah. Aloo biryani. Who says?
Yeah, yes, he said hi. Jaga Pujari is also here in the chat. Nice to have you. Ravindra Prasad says Donnarumma has the tournament experience.
परम ये आंसर आयन दास का बैक 3 और बैक 4.
So yeah, this is to answer your question कि देखो अजय भाई ने ये पहले ही बोला है कि बैक फोर पेपर पे होगा, but they will transition. But you might see a more reserved version tomorrow as compared to Albania, I think. Not tomorrow, on Friday. Obviously, my bad. So you might see a bit more reserved version, but obviously there being a good reason behind it. Barella says always with Chintan Goat. Barella says Fagioli was trying to take my spot. Deepu asks, do you think Italy can win the midfield battle tomorrow against Pedri, Fabian, Rodri? Good question. एक तो Rodri and Morata had knocks against Croatia, but they are pretty much recovered. I'll pull that up as we discuss Spain later on. But ये अच्छा battle है. Like Ajay, I'll start with you because we will break Spain down. But in brief words, what do you think? Because बहुत टेक्निकली जैसे दीपू ने पहले बोला बहुत टेक्निकली एलिगेंट और फ्रेतेजी ने जैसे खुद बोला थोड़ी सुपीरियर मिडफील्ड है राइट डोमिनेंट लेट्स बी क्लियर देयर how like do you think Italy with this midfield stands a chance like with their guile what do you think
I think you need to target the weakest link in that midfield, the chink in the armor, and that I think is by default Fabian Ruiz. So मेरे हिसाब से rattle him, and because it's very difficult to get the ball out of Rodri's feet. Yeah, I mean with all due respect, I think he is one of the top 3 midfielders right now. So I don't think so. Man to man, anyone can match up to Rodri. But
Definitely. Yeah.
for sure, target Fabian Ruiz. You know,
Huh.
it's going to be difficult, very difficult. I think that's
Yeah.
where the Spanish team holds a slight edge over Italy. That midfield.
Yeah, definitely. Also because Fabian Ruiz जो हम लोग weakling जो चिंतन भाई अजय भाई बोल रहे हैं, but he's still good. And surprisingly now he's turned up the heat for the national team, even if he didn't have
Surprising,
good.
very surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, he did not have the best of seasons for PSG. He was all right, but now he's turned up the heat, right? तो comments थोड़े और ले लेता हूँ, then we'll shift the focus. We are not going
Yeah.
to ignore your comments, so just be patient. बहुत सारे comments है already.
ये
We
ये
appreciate
ये कमेंट है परम जो अपन ने मिस किया. Donnarumma.
हाँ. Donnarumma is the captain. Yeah, Ayan wala, right? Yeah,
This is
sorry, Ravindra's. Yeah, experience. Yeah, we took it. I took it earlier, Ajay bhai. Yeah, I agree with him. I mean, I think it goes with your point, right? He has the experience which Vicario obviously does not have, and it's important. Ravindra Prasad also says midfield of Fagioli, Pellegrini, and Barella would be devastating for Spain. Sure. Again, Fagioli की fitness पे सब depend करता है यार. Barella says Spalletti wants me to play as a 10. Pellegrini is gonna get dropped. Jaga Pujari says if Italy dominate the midfield, they can win. I agree with you there. Ayan says Donnarumma is the captain, which is the reason behind him not getting dropped. Otherwise, I would not even pick him in the squad. Wow, that's a bit harsh squad wala, I would say, because he's definitely better than Merit and Provedel, I would say. But I get your point. I mean, captain hai, जैसे अजय भाई ने बोला, you can't really overlook that. Personal opinion, fair enough. Don't worry, lads. I'm gonna eat Pedri tomorrow. Deepu says, looks like Laporte will come in. Definitely, we will get to Spain ka breakdown. There is news of that. Ki Laporte is still in a race against time in terms of his fitness. वो starting of the tournament से fit नहीं रहा है. But De La Fuente obviously likes him a lot. We will come to that. Obviously, अभी game को time है. हम लोग जल्दी preview कर रहे हैं. जगह पुजारी says Chiesa का जो right wing, Chiesa को right wing पे खेलना चाहिए. हाँ, मतलब I'll pull something up with regards to that.
वहाँ ही तो खेल रहा था.
हाँ नो बट आई थिंक व्हाट ही मींस इज क्योंकि किएजा को उस दिन ट्रांजिशन करवाया था अजय भाई आइडियली आई थिंक उसका जो प्लान था वाज टू प्ले हिम अ बिट बिहाइंड आई थिंक बिहाइंड द स्ट्राइकर आई थिंक आई गेट व्हाट ही मींस जैसे केलिनी ने इधर बोला स्पेलेटी इज अ बिग थिंग फॉर मी हियर द डिसीजन टू प्ले किएजा ऑन द राइट an extra midfielder starting Calafiori and playing Bastoni on the right as well were all bold decisions. So Spalletti के साथ एक है कि आप bold decisions definitely trust कर सकते हो because he's a very good reader of the game. Right, so I think अभी के लिए थोड़े comments cap off कर देते. We'll come to your comments later on. I'll remember where we stopped, Ajay bhai, just to keep a track. Chiesa वाले comment पे रुके थे. Chintan bhai, I'll come to you. I think we moved on from the training, but I'll go to Jorginho's comment and then what was done in training, because Jorginho says there are two things that Italy need to do basically to beat Spain. He was happy about the game against Albania, as you can see. It was a positive one. We played the right way, keeping possession of the ball and being patient. Patience जो की होगा, I guess you agree, Chintan bhai. But अभी इधर देखो वो क्या बोल रहा है. Basically, he says we need high intensity. Both teams will want to keep possession, and we must base our performance on our strengths and not their weakness. The coach wants us to play good football and move the ball, right, Chintan bhai? And we know this about Spalletti. He doesn't shy away from his approach, even in the toughest of circumstances. क्या लगता है आपको चिंतन? How important is it to maintain this mentality, but also strike a balance when you need to sacrifice the ball? What do you think?
See, I totally agree. Plus, my biggest funda is what he says is true, but what I feel is that जो Italy का जो route है, it is of course I feel the biggest thing is going to be patience. Ball मिलने नहीं वाला है. The midfield is not just little superior. I think leaps and bounds superior है, especially when you see individually जो brilliance है when it comes to Pedri, Rodri, and even Fabian Ruiz. I think he's a very good midfielder. I think only Barella matches up to them technical wise. I don't think others even match up to them. They all have roles to play. I feel here Jorginho is going to be so pivotal because as Ajay हम लोग ने देखा था कितना comfortable था वो ball को switch off play, momentum तोड़ने के लिए to slow the game down. Pirlo, we've seen Pirlo do that for years, donkey years. So if they stick to their passing game, of course you cannot outpass Spain. You cannot go with that mentality. जो कभी-कभी sometimes I feel not this Spalletti Italy, Mancini की Italy थी. I feel they kind of got over involved with passing so much that they got stuck somewhere. You know, कि ball आगे लेके जा रहे भाई, चलो एक upward move है, finish the move. So I feel if they overdo it against Spain, that is what I think he's trying to do. That stick to your own qualities because ball कम मिलेगा. Switch off play चाहिए, direct play चाहिए. Chiesa is amazing at direct play, going. And I feel अगर थोड़ा weakness है Spain में, I know however great Carvajal is, I think he's just clocking back years. He's playing so well and all, but you can Carvajal, Nacho, if they play, that side might be the side where you can catch them on speed when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So you have to do that. You know, जैसे बोला midfield is, it's, I think it's very surprising कि gap कितना बड़ा है. But again, physicality, जैसे बोला अजय कि physicality is so important because ये all these players you named, Param, all of them are not that physically strong. An entire squad, if you go to see, when it comes to midfield and when it comes to attackers, they aren't that strong physically. So I guess this is where it's going to be won or lost.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a good point actually. And I think फ्रतेजी के कॉन्फ्रेंस पे अगर जैसे आपने पॉइंट आउट किया, स्पेन आर मॉडर्न, ही सेज, इन जनरल, जैसे चिंतन भाई ने बोला कि टेक्निकली वो लोग सुपीरियर है. उसने इधर क्लियरली बोला, आई थिंक वील हैव लेस पोजीशन देन अगेंस्ट अल्बानिया, सो वील श्योरली नीड टू बी मोर फोकस्ड डिफेंसिवली. सो आई थिंक दैट्स प्रीटी मच द गेम प्लान हियर कि एक बैलेंस स्ट्राइक करना है. यू डोंट वांट टू गिव अप एवरीथिंग, but you also need to have those right moments, right? I think he was also backing Skamaka because he said over the last 3 months Skamaka has proved that he can score at any moment. Italy के साथ तो chance अब तक इतना consistently मिला नहीं है, but he hopes. पर अजय भाई, on this note, I want to ask you because कल training में थोड़े I think spot हुए थे. Again, I'll come to the midfield only. Barella से start करता हूँ आपसे. Italy players practice ball possession on a reduced pitch, which I brought up earlier, where Nicolo Barella was basically wearing the bib and he was basically in the center in a deeper role. So what do you think the strategy is here, hypothetically? What's going on in your head when you read that? What do you think?
Well, firstly, let me welcome Dhananjay into the stream.
Oh yeah, Dhananjay bhai is here.
We have a traditional top 4 of Serie A, the Milan Club, Juve, and Roma, all in the stream. But yeah, we're talking about Italy. Let me not get distracted. But भाई मेरे हिसाब से वही है कि the way that Spalletti is going to operate the midfield is to basically play on the counter. I don't think so. It's going to be like an even Steven because even this Spain doesn't actually keep the ball a lot. But obviously both teams will strive to get the ball. And during the transition, that's where I think Barella comes into the limelight. So I expect a lot of Italy's attacking moves to possibly happen via Barella. So maybe you'll have Pellegrini go a little wider than and then maybe cut back in Chiesa, of course, is there. But that just ahead of Jorginho and maybe Cristante potentially, you have Barella who would be the pivotal point for all attacking moves. Hence, I think he's using him in this fashion. So it'll be very interesting to see how this pans out from training and into the actual game.
Fair enough. And obviously Dhananjay bhai is here with us. Nice to have you. DJ, I'll get to it straight. Like we discussed a lot, but I'll ask you as well. क्योंकि DJ भाई 3 changes predict किए जा रहे हैं लाइनअप में. बोला जा रहा है basically Mancini might come in for Fratesi and Retegui in for Scamacca and Mancini at the back for Calafiori. ये 3 changes discuss किए जा रहे हैं जो training में भी obviously हुआ. So what do you think of it? Because we discussed what each one would offer possibly if they come in. What are your takes on it early on?
Very honestly, guys, I'm not really buying into what the press is saying. I feel like all the cards are not on the table. Spalletti is also, going to be as far as I'm concerned, for Italy in this game particularly, he's the key difference maker. And I feel like whatever he's testing out right now is more, I feel like he's going to blindside Spain a little bit. Let's keep in mind at the moment, I feel like what we saw against Albania, that is not his settled 11.
Yeah,
this team is, his ideal 11 is what he's going to tinker, and we're going to probably find, maybe by the third game of the round. I do feel Fagioli, if he's fit, will feature at some point. Calafiori, to me, I think there is 2 very important factors. This Spanish side, as per tradition, is also a very low center of gravity side. So I fully expect Spalletti to continue to use the physicality of a Scamacca type player. So I feel like Retegui for me right now is, while he may feature, but I think Scamacca is the man who will make the difference because both these teams have actually struggled with a traditional number 9. And I think from a dead ball situation, I think Scamacca is the one that can make a difference. From what we are seeing in terms of the names that they're mentioning, I don't know how much of an impact these names will have as against what already started against Albania. So I feel for me, it's going to be the same starting 11 as Albania, maybe give or take that one change in the middle. With you mentioned Fratesi going out.
Fratesi
Yeah,
going out
Fratesi
for
for
Cristante
Cristante.
potentially. Mancini coming in for Calafiori, and obviously Retegui over Scamacca.
So I feel Calafiori will remain. I think Fratesi, if at all, will be coming off the bench, to run. So, of course, again, in this game as well, I feel Barella will be very important because that's the only real connection to play from the back and connect the attack. In terms of the width, again, Chiesa also, his ball control is going to be very important because this Italy is going to play so compact. It's going to probably be three at the back and the wing backs falling back to kind of create that little bit of half space, cutting it out for Spain. Because Spain is going to have a lot more of the ball. Probably like a 65-35 possession map sort of situation. So yeah, I'm not entirely buying the changes that he's trying. I think if at all there will be one change, it will be in the middle. I fully
at the end
expect
of the day,
Scamacca to be starting.
fair enough. At the end of the day, these are early training things he has tried out in training basically. Whether or not he feels this, वो तो one day before we'll have to see the reports. But obviously, थोड़ी reasoning चिंतन भाई मैं आपको पूछता हूँ, and then we'll all just go back to that lineup and take a final call on it. But he obviously, as per the reports again, and you can quite kind of understand it because Retegui is definitely a better presser than Scamacca, but then Scamacca has his own things. In that regard, a better presser against a team like Spain. Do you agree ki, Retegui then has a good case to start, Chintan bhai?
Yeah, he has a good case to start, but I'll just give you a small example when it comes to club football. It's easier for me is what Olivier Giroud has done for Milan and even for France. A player like him is such a fulcrum when it comes to pulling defenders or winning those small fouls near the opposition box. So I feel Scamacca can do that. So that might outweigh Retegui's, of course, the pressing because Scamacca can pull defenders, can win those fouls, can hold the ball. We saw that at Anfield. Amazing hold up play by Scamacca, man. It was outstanding, waiting for Dick Etlar and everyone to run in. So I think this is one call which I think either ways might just turn out to be fine. If Retegui, the only thing what I like is Retegui likes to carry the ball more than Scamacca. Likes the feel of the ball on his field. So they will have to fall back deep. So for that case, I think Retegui might come in. But again, for that direct approach, we have Chiesa. Because we know Chiesa when he runs through the ball, he needs someone running in the box. So it's a very iffy situation. I'm thinking I'll be okay with either, to be honest. But I only lean for Scamacca. One reason is poor guy has not got continuity for Italy. He's had a good season. Give him that continuity. Give him that much, that okay, fine, we have faith in you. Go ahead and do that. Might work wonders.
But
plus
to your
one,
point,
plus one for us. Plus one. I agree with that.
Yeah, and just to that point, Aditya Aryan says Spain defense isn't press resistant. Italy has to press them at, which is a good point. जैसे हम लोग स्पेन को ब्रेक डाउन करेंगे. So जैसे चिंतन भाई ने बोला यार, मतलब there is a case to do anything over here because at the end of the day, if you're sitting in a block, if you're forced to not have the ball, you need someone to press that line, right? So who else other than Retegui right now? But थोड़े comments लेते हैं अजय भाई, and then we'll get back to final preference and move to Spain. I think we stopped at कहाँ पर था वो?
Chiesa को right wing पे खिलाना चाहिए.
Yeah, I think it was way after the Pedri
वाला. तुझे Barella is calling you the physics वाला अलग पार्टी but.
Oh God, I mean छोड़ो यार, मतलब ही नहीं है ये लेके. So Jaga Pujari says Barella said Spalletti is cooking. Jaga Pujari says Mancini is a bit reckless. हो सकता है right Ajay bhai, but still reliable in general. मतलब if you need someone to mark like a
yellow card to disrupt Morata and the Spanish attack in general.
But Ajay, if you see the difference between this Mancini and the Mancini of the previous season, I saw the two games against Milan, huge difference. He was not getting riled up at all.
Yeah.
And this has happened under De Rossi. Like, Mancini, you would think would play his best football under Mourinho, but he's actually playing his best football under De Rossi. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm just leaving it without any further comments.
And I think Ayan, I'll take your comment when we are breaking down Spain. Why Travis Scott and Nacho are getting low. We'll take that during.
I don't even know who Travis Scott is, man. Is he a
Blink 182? I think, right?
Musician?
Yeah.
Don't ask me. Suman Banandhar says Chiesa can play an important role. Yes, Chiesa हमेशा important role खेलता है इस national team के लिए. चाहे वो मतलब कोई भी role में honestly. Melonica Modi says Italy will humiliate these Madrid Barca combined. Bhutia 69 is there in the chat. Sorry for being late. Nahi yaar, you joined us. That's more than enough. Uh, Melonica Modi says Vicario is better than him.
Hmm?
Then Donnarumma.
Rutuj Kusurkar says Spain will look to overload the right with Carvajal overlapping and Yamal cutting in. Do you guys think DiMarco can handle it, or will the wingers will have to track back a lot? ये tactical aspect ये question मैं अभी ले लेता हूँ. I'll come to Ajay bhai. He's not answered in a while because I feel Ajay bhai, they're not going to isolate someone like a DiMarco. Let's be real, right? मतलब even
Yeah,
if
yeah.
even anyone like Spain beat either flank, वो लोग double up करेंगे तो definitely we have seen Italy can also double up. That's a given. तो क्या लगता है आपको इसके
Yeah.
बारे में?
See, I think DiMarco is going to have his work cut out. To be very honest,
Yeah,
and
yeah, of
the
course.
same goes with Di Lorenzo. I think both the fullbacks are going to be extremely busy. That is
Yeah.
why I think if for example, if Spalletti wanted to play a bit conservative, he would start with a traditional back three, maybe like a Bastoni, Buongiorno, Mancini, and with Di Lorenzo or a Darmian, DiMarco as wing backs. तो मेरे हिसाब से वो शायद would negate the double pronged attack of Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal. But मेरे हिसाब से तो it's going to be a very I don't think so. A lot of people have watched DiMarco over the last year at Inter. He really developed into a good fullback. वो brain fade छोड़ दो जो 11 सेकंड का brain fade था. It happens. So it's going to be a very interesting battle. I feel it's going to be 50-50. I mean, I know Lamine Yamal is young. He's got the world at his feet. But we need to pull off a very classic Italian master class, defensive master class to negate these two wingers.
Definitely, that's a good point. Alu Biryani says Dhananjay bhai is here. I was asking about him during the watch along. Of course, Piyush Singh says Vivian should start over Nacho. Good shout out. He has been one of the best defenders in the La Liga. Aditya Aryan says Spain defense is वो तो ले लिया था. And I think we'll get to this lineup, Ajay bhai. So finally, are you guys?
You don't know Param well enough. His number of tabs, he's keeping an eye on everything.
But I'll come to DJ bhai first. Actually, DJ bhai, are you satisfied with this or any other? Like, are you like leaning towards a change over here? Are you fine with this in general? DJ bhai, that's
No, I do feel Mancini to me is a little unpredictable. I feel like Calafiori is more predictable. But again, if the change comes in the starting lineup, I think the change will be in the middle more than it'll be anywhere else. And I do still think that Scamacca will start and Retigui will follow to come in as an impact player, because I think Barella is the one who's going to be Barella and Chiesa are the ones who are going to be running with the ball. So I feel that will happen also because to Chintan's point that Scamacca's ability to create space for Barella and Chiesa to run is going to be very important. Again, also his physicality is very, very important because both these teams actually, even in the last Euro, that Italian team also wasn't very physical. They were missing that hard nine, and I think Scamacca will make a big difference in a game like this. In the defense, I still feel to Ajay bhai's point, DiMarco will be there, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni. I feel Calafiori, but let's see what happens with Mancini.
Fair enough. And Chintan bhai, do you agree with DJ bhai on everything he said? मतलब are you with him कि शायद Calafiori को एक मतलब look in मिलना चाहिए, obviously because of the continuity aspect.
Yeah, I am a firm believer of continuity. I think continuity is very important. But here I feel a big game, a pressure game. I think the confidence can go also, right? You can lose confidence, you can lose your legs. So what I feel is they should be doing is, the defense is fine with me, to be honest. But I would go with Scamacca up front. I would be okay with Mancini or Calafiori. I'm only worried about one thing is, he might be physically not be able to adapt. But again, Spain is not that a physical side. So it'll be good. Only thing is his passing range at times. But again, what Ajay said, that Bastoni and Calafiori are very similar players. So that might be a worry. I'll be fine with Mancini. But I would want Scamacca to start for sure. And Fratesi has to be on the bench.
Yeah, fair enough. Ajay bhai, do you agree with that sentiment of Chintan bhai and DJ bhai as well, or anything different to add?
I think yeah, more or less. I feel as DJ said that we don't know the entire story. Kya Spalletti is going to pull out is going to be very
Of course.
interesting.
Yeah.
He might just pull out, a rabbit out of the pack. You never know. So,
Yeah.
मेरे हिसाब से Mancini is that player who will stop that cut. Like you play in these kind of games. So I think he's got a strong case to start. Baki, we'll see how he lines up with a back three or a back four or that shape shifting back three, which morphs into back four. बहुत interesting होगा.
Fair enough. And I think मैं आप सबसे generally agree करता हूँ. I'm just saying कि I won't be surprised. जैसे धनंजय भाई ने बोला, it's a bit too early. Over the next 2-3 days, we will see training कैसी होती है. I wouldn't be surprised if Buongiorno gets a look in here, because I think again if you need a physically dominant center back completely, and I think Ajay bhai जैसे ना, it's being lost कि he was the best defender in the league this season. It's being lost for all these recent performances. So I think he also has a good case.
Calafiori's long hair and headband.
उसके पास बड़े बाल नहीं आएंगे, इसलिए तो नहीं. But I think थोड़े comments ले लेते, then we'll break down Spain. Deepu का comment पहले ले लेता हूँ because it falls in that category of Spain का breakdown. Laporte is ready, working with the group. Rodri and Morata perfectly fine. So pretty much a full squad now. Only we'll come to the breakdown again. Fermin and Baina can be out of syllabus question. Unpredictable. Definitely Madridista maniasis will Mancini do to Yamal what Chiellini did to Saka. Anyone can see that happening? DJ bhai, anyone?
I don't think so, but he needs to be stopped for sure.
I think only Mancini can do that. I feel only he can do that.
Yeah.
And I expect him to tell him to stand up also. Then come on, stand up.
Yeah. And probably go proper head to head with him.
Melonica Modi says Grimaldo should start over Cucurella in this game to stop case. Yes, we'll get to it. But I think you make a good point कि वो already इतना बड़ा set piece threat है as well. Vishu says 2016-20 Italy defeated Spain. It will be hat trick. Let's hope. Spain ने भी मार दिया ये.
On this bombshell, let me take you all on a throwback journey. You guys remember the starting 11 of Italy in the 2016 under Conte?
Yeah, exactly. I know. You've pulled it up. Great.
I pulled it up.
Oh my God. थोड़ा zoom in कर लो अजय भाई थोड़ा. Oh my God.
So obviously you have
of course you have
BBC. That is sorted.
Oh boy. But when it starts with Parolo. Oh boy.
By the way, dude, you have to, that Giaccherini was Conte's trump card, which is that match where there was a long ball, he collected it and scored a goal. I think Belgium ke samne mara tha usne.
Belgium.
What a
Correct.
beautiful goal. What collection. How he controlled the ball in the box.
Amazing.
And he scored that goal. Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Full R9 collection that was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ajay bhai, DJ bhai ka face is getting covered. Wo comment jara.
Yeah. Just do the comment.
that was a problem last time.
Because last time comments pe people were like DJ bhai ka chehra cover ho gaya hai.
But DJ is the pretty face of the panel here.
It's very fun.
And check this Spain team out, okay? I mean,
Nolito. Bhai, Nolito क्या होता था यार एक point पे चिंतन भाई.
Look at that. Yeah, amazing. Nolito the City. I think even the City में भी आया था ना?
Yeah, City में.
अरे यार, he was something.
You look at the midfield. Look at the midfield, man.
Yeah.
And include David Silva also in that midfield, but good lord. And the back line is also very fair, man. I mean, you got Jordi Alba, Sergio Ramos. Yeah. And look at the subs who came on. You have Patio, Darmian.
This is
crazy. Yeah, what a bench.
Yeah, when Ogbonna still used to make the national team, bhai. Bellerin. Oh boy.
But guys, it's really funny. It's really funny because in many ways, I feel like this Italy is of course, BBC is a different parameter. But this Italy again is many ways the strength is the collective. Which is why I'm always optimistic about the way they approach this, and I think that's where like Spalletti did a great job. He focused a lot on the psychology of the team when he called all the previous number 10s to come and share that champion mentality. He's got Buffon in the dressing room again. I harp on this because that's actually what came to the fore against Albania as well when we spoke about it. So I feel like when he's tinkering, he's also taking character into mind. He's taking the guys who play for each other. That's really important to him. And traditionally, that's really what works for Italy as well. You know,
Yeah.
all their biggest successes have actually always come when the team has played as a collective. You know,
Yeah.
our most stacked team, Euro 2000, the World Cup 2002. Look at that. That team was over prime Belgium's golden generation was that Italian team.
Yeah,
I mean, that it was just insane the way we were stacked. And if you look at like what the results were,
I think DJ, we need to make a video on that. I think वो जो
yeah,
underrepresentation है ना, because everyone when they talk about the golden gen, they talk about obviously the Dutch golden gen, followed by England, many generations, Belgium, Spain, but that Italy is not taking the same breath, which is a massive disrespect.
Unbelievable. That team was just stacked. It was like artists everywhere, you know.
Let's start from the jersey first of all. It starts from that jersey.
Oh my.
Also. What a
Kappa boss, you cannot you just cannot.
Baldini and Totti with full sleeves and that white band on their head.
Mind blowing.
I'm getting jealous if I start talking to them like that.
वही वाला था ना, the stretchable kappa वाला.
Yeah, correct.
That was
mind blowing.
Yeah.
I think that series really revolutionized Kappa sponsorship contracts across clubs.
Yeah. Kappa still, honestly, DJ bhai, they still make good kids, to be fair.
Best for them. They're my favorites. Yeah, I mean, Juve's greatest kids are all Kappa as far as I'm concerned. You know, fully like.
Ajay, if our wives hear us talking about all these ex-players so much, they might get jealous.
Man crush Monday. I mean, I know it's a Tuesday. Actually, Param, we'll get to this. Let me just pull it up because since we're going on man crushing mode, let's go all the way. Just check this lineup. We are going on a slight tangent.
Definitely. Be patient, भाई. थोड़ा casual talk भी कर लेंगे. We are definitely going to come to Spain's breakdown.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
Zoom in पर. Yeah. This kit was.
So I thought. So you have Albertini, Cannavaro, Conte, Zambrotta, Totti, Toldo, Nesta, Inzaghi,
Toldo,
Stefano Fiore, right?
Yeah.
Fiore, correct. And he had a great Euro.
He had a great Euro. Yes.
Chintan bhai, insert modern day tweets trying to put Calafiori in there now.
Yeah. By the way, guys, if you remember this tournament, Toldo was outstanding.
Mind blowing. What a tournament he had.
No one expected him, and the penalty say, outside. For me, Fiore and Toldo were unexpected, out of syllabus. Out of syllabus.
Yeah, fully.
Need to order this jersey now, man.
But I'll get back
to get in shape to fit into that jersey.
Yes.
We'll get to the comments and then Spain pe chalu aate because Akshat ka comment is related to this game I've pulled up. I think Croatia didn't take their chances against Spain, otherwise the game could have gone either way. According to me, I think Italy wouldn't and shouldn't make that mistake of not. Definitely you're right, because jo scoreline jo hai is game ka, it doesn't do justice to actually Croatia's performance. Matlab they were not really that bad before they got opened up, and wo jo मैं बार-बार बोल रहा हूँ, डालिच ने जो गलती की ग्वार्डियोल को लेफ्ट पे खेला के in this game they really got opened up through the middle, and honestly आपने देखा penalty वो पूरा debacle जो हुआ, chances जो miss किए, definitely the scoreline could have been actually closer. Gus Fring says Spain versus Italy 12:30 से 2:30 तक है, फिर 3 hours sleep के बाद अर्जेंटीना कनाडा. हाँ यार वही अपने इंडियंस के तो लग गए यार ये साइकिल के पूरे. Omar says what makes Pedri magical when he passes the ball, it's like Harry Potter doing magic. The way he holds the ball is so beautiful. It's like he and the ball have greater romance than Romeo and Juliet.
Wow.
Quite. This is the best comment I've read.
No, but Omar does come up with some unique comments. I mean, definitely Pedri is very talented. You see, he got an assist against Croatia as well, and he's playing really well in the lead up to Euros. We'll again break it down. So I think Ajay bhai, let's start with it and get to the comments. Chintan bhai, I'll start with you.
Just sorry. One point, Param, that you made very interesting. Actually, that 3-love scoreline actually really flattered to deceive, because let's not forget that the first goal really came against the run of play.
Yes.
Croatia, and I feel also this Spanish team, I feel at the back they lack not only a little bit of talent, also a little bit of character. which if Croatia had just run at them a little bit more, I feel like the scoreline wouldn't have had that 3-love deficit, you know.
Fair enough.
And that's where a player like Barella and Chiesa are going to be very interesting when they run at this defense.
He pulled out Modric and Kovacic quite early, actually. I felt he pulled it out a little earlier. He gave it up quite early.
Let's get to this game only, Chintan bhai, with that regard. I'll obviously come to all three. Obviously, हमने तो brief तो touch upon कर लिया, but इसमें I think Chintan भाई सबसे बड़ी बात हो रही है कि स्पेन के पास इस गेम में ना बहुत phases थे where they didn't have the ball and yet they managed. That's the biggest takeaway because people are now saying कि now this is the Spanish side की that can manage without the ball, right? मतलब they don't need to hog possession for the sake of it, this, that. But do you have like a counter argument to this, as in wherein, you know, maybe Italy will force them otherwise, या फिर that was just something that deceived us because the score was already 3-0 early on in the game? What do you think?
I was just going to get to that. I felt second half, the job was done. I think first half, everyone knew Spain might just make a little comeback, 1 or 2 goals here and there. But I think the game was done. The pace was slow. What I feel is Italy will hurry them. Italy, of course, no disrespect to Croatia, but overall pitch-wise, the manager is better. So they'll be set up better. They know what to expect from Spain. So I feel it's, first of all, I didn't expect Fabian Ruiz to start. I didn't expect him to start, like he started. And that's what I like. One good thing about Spain here is that they are not just stuck to one approach now. At least this team looks like they're not stuck to one approach. They know how to switch plays, which you don't see a lot of Spanish teams do that. Like over the years, हम लोग ने देखा नहीं कि कभी left wing से right back को ball मतलब either way जैसा ball guy. So I like that approach. What they have is they have direct players, of course, in there like Nico Williams and Yamal are very direct. What brings them with the Pedri? Again, they don't have players like Pedri before. He's a little hardened. He goes in hard. वो EPL में खेला हुआ. He has that experience. He knows when to pull out a tackle. That call was an iffy call. I think he could have been sent off for that call. The penalty one, I think, was a little iffy. But again, that is what he's a little hard. He goes in there. So this Spanish team is not like the Spanish teams over the years.
Yes.
I feel they have a second approach. So that is the only thing where it, and of course, second approach here does not mean they're very comfortable with that. So Italy they have to see to it, they push Spain to not play direct. And again, what BJ said is what I feel this backline is not a short backline. And what I lack here is look at the physical presence except Rodri over here. Not much.
Yes.
So physical presence nahi hai. And if Nacho plays, if Laporte does not start and if Nacho plays, that again tips the favor on the Italians. That is why I feel Mancini might be helpful. Stop the play, thoda disrupt karo. Chiesa is direct and Chiesa one-on-one. So either side Chiesa khelega, he's going to be quite direct. Again, Cucurella, I think he's only there because he supports Nico Williams likes to cut in and Cucurella likes to make that run out. So I guess he's there for that reason only. So I feel एक दूसरा phase है this Spanish team को which we've not seen, but again they never needed that phase because of the midfield they had before.
Fair enough. And also जैसे आपने बोला Laporte might start, and obviously I think the main takeaway here in that backline is Dani Carvajal because he has this next different level of character which DJ Bhai was referring. I think he's the one that stands out over there. मतलब आपने उस game में भी देख लिया Croatia में how he was playing. So I think from the backline going forward, I think he should be the main threat. But Ajay, I'll come to you before we break it down further. Nico Williams, right? I mean, he had a fantastic season for Athletic Club. And he's really taken that next leap, playing with his brother and everything. And he अलग level की directness ला रहा है, मतलब which definitely is a cause of concern because quite a lot of time in that game against Croatia, he was causing a lot of threat. मतलब वो balls आ रहे थे बहुत. So for you, what is the game plan here to stop him or at least isolate him to the point where their gameplay is थोड़ा disrupted and then Italy can take advantage?
भाई सबसे पहले तो ये जो ratings है ना, that's why I don't buy on the ratings.
I was just saying Nico Williams को कितना कम rating मिला यार.
Ajay
bhai, it's perfect example of stats not giving the full picture, right? So yeah.
I know. It doesn't give the full picture. So see, I think I've said it again. It's just that we need to go the old school Italian way of defending, disrupt them, annoy them, get into their heads, and hopefully break the lines and recycle the ball and hit them on the counter. I think that's going to be the case. And we need to rely on our fullbacks to get the job done against both Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. So work cut out. Whoever Spalletti chooses, I think they'll have a very clear goal in mind. This is what they have to do, and give the ball back to Italy's midfield and start that counter. As simple as that.
Ajay, लेकिन Param, if you go to see, since Torres, they don't have a direct player like Nico Williams in a very long time who can cut in, hold the ball in the box and curl the ball in. वो हुआ नहीं है.
Correct.
And seeing him play, मैं थोड़ा डी लोरेंजो के लिए थोड़ा डर गया था that they have to behind. Clip back होना पड़ेगा because you can't give Nico Williams space.
Yeah, I
Can't do
agree.
that. मैं बोल रहा Chintan, yeah, they need to get into their heads and play dirty and like get the typical old school Italian defending. Get to that. I know Spalletti is all about the champagne football and everything, but he needs to that's why Conte was brilliant. Like with you saw that, right? Such an average midfield barring De Rossi. He got the job done.
Yeah.
And I think एक चीज बराबर इधर ये कि ना I think all we have discussed कि लमीन यमाल और निको विलियम्स की वजह से ना मोराता पे थोड़ा बर्डन कम हो गया. मतलब the first goal he scored with such calm, ideally he has this tendency to at least do something crazy and कैसे तो he fluffs it over the line कैसे तो, but he's looking way calmer. But DJ I'll come to you यार. I'll go back to the lineup. Where do you, in your opinion, see the biggest threat Spain offer? मतलब देखो हमने निको विलियम्स की बात कर ली, यमाल की बात कर ली. You are obviously privy with Morata without a doubt. Do you think I'll come
maybe privy with him again this summer?
yeah. वो आपके और अजय भाई के बीच में मैच है उसका. I guess
he's coming to Italy for sure.
I guess we need to book a ladder match. Chintan bhai contract hanging in the air, money in the bank. but coming to this only, मैं मोराता पे ही आ जाता हूँ DJ भाई, because you know it, you have seen it. बहुत मजाक उड़ाते हैं इसका, and I know he's had his moments even at UA ये वो, but despite that he's among the top scorers for Spain in the Euros. Goal plus assist ये वो, he's breaking records. What do you think is the game plan to stop this guy? Because he's very good with his movements at the end of the day.
He's very tricky, Param, between the lines, and I think that's where he's very lucky, because also the kind of players around him really suit him, because you have Williams on one side, you got Yamal on the other. I think the threat for me will come from the right, because we know how Carvajal is. Also, that overlapping run is just insane, and he's gotten so used to that Madrid style. But I think also, a special mention in this to De La Fuente, because again, when we look at it from an overarching perspective, it's that this Spanish team also in a very funny way, unlike the last Euros, mirrors this Italian team, where they also focused on the collective, which is to Chintan's point and to Ajay Bhai's point, where we're not seeing the old school tiki-taka. And I feel even though we're not seeing it, what Italy will do is Italy will remain very compact in this game. Traditionally, that's how we play against Spain. We will continue to give them more of the ball. And what happens is, because of De La Fuente, again, he's been a winner with them, in the Euro under-19s. He's done it at the under-21 level. He's done it in the Olympics, or even though it was a silver medal. I think the way he sets up the team is also to play really versatile. And I feel like they will adapt two different approaches against both halves. So, I think they will start with 1-4-3-3 formation. And I feel like that will change as the game goes on. Both the coaches will really read what the next move is. I feel like Spalletti will mirror this as a 3-5-2 for me. The 4-2-3-1 effectively to me will be a 3-5-2. Those wing backs falling back, they have to kind of cut back because of the way Yamal and Williams will play. But coming back to the original point, of course, Morata is very lucky, because what he does is he's a very hybrid kind of striker. He uses his body really well to create space. When these guys will cut in, he's good with his back to the goal. And I think that's where the threat will really come. But I feel predominantly it'll come from the right.
Fair enough. And I think you made a very good point, because मोराता को प्रेडिक्ट करना पेपर पे आसान लगता है, बट बहुत मुश्किल होता है, बिकॉज अक्रॉस दैट फ्रंट थ्री ही कैन रियली प्ले एनीवेयर. एंड एज यू कैन सी दिस स्टैट ट्रांसलेट्स टू बेसिकली स्पेन के ऑल टाइम यूरोस में हिस्ट्री में ही इज राइट अप देयर इन टर्म्स ऑफ गोल्स एंड असिस्ट. एंड आई थिंक हिज मूवमेंट, it's just that obviously if he was a better finisher overall, you could have seen even better figures, because he's quite intelligent as well. But I think in terms of the predicted lineup, this is pretty much what is expected. Rodri and Morata did go off with some minor knocks, but they're fit. Only thing is Laporte might come back in defense, mostly instead of Nacho. Agar depend karta, because again Nacho बहुत versatile है, he can literally play across the back four. So if Lenormand goes off, I won't be surprised either. But I think ये expected है, जैसे आप देख सकते हो निको विलियम्स, यमाल, पेद्री, रुइज, रॉड्री, मोराटा, उनाई सिमोन.
What is the best part? Only can say a little bit of a worry is, look at I like Spain's bench strength. They have Oyarzabal, who had a fantastic season. He had a fantastic qualifiers also. So They had Danny
Yes.
Olmo coming on.
Danny
So
Olmo.
they have a little bit of they have Oyarzabal, like, you know, I think thoda variety hai udhar, you know. So I think Oyarzabal had a fantastic, I think he was the top assist maker in the qualifiers. So I think he is
And very good point, Chetan bhai. Not just Oyarzabal, अब Merino देखो, Zubimendi for Real Sociedad, fantastic seasons. फिर आपके पास Grimaldo है, obviously अगर एक set piece line, Daniel Vivian, someone, I think Piyush Singh brought it up earlier in the comments, again for Athletic Club, fantastic season. So Joselu again, impact sub.
And they have Torres, and Torres is also good with the spaces, you know, he's good in the spaces. So this only thing is he has equipments to tweak, as Ajay DJ bole, to tweak the formation a little bit, where more or less this guy Spalletti will have to rely on his starting 11 a lot.
Yeah, and I think one last touching point here is when we break down the Spain ka lineup, only thing is Unai Simon is actually playing with an injury, so whether or not that comes into play, obviously उसने अब तक तो manage किया है, तो वो तो expected है कि कर लेगा, but it's a wrist issue, so you never know again. But I think he should be able to.
Raya is their alternative.
Raya है, so still they should be fine. But obviously Unai Simon is the preference. I think Spain का भी discuss कर चुके. I think I'll ask you guys one last thing कि for you guys, before we get into the score predictions and everything, where do you think this, for Italy obviously, where do you think this battle is won and lost? DJ, I'll start with you. Obviously, comments packages before I get to 17 people still with us. You know, thank you for giving your comments. We'll come to all your comments. Let's get the panelists' views first. So I'll start with DJ bhai, then go to Ajay bhai. DJ bhai, aap bata, where do you think is this battle is won and lost?
Very clearly, Param. For me, this is clearly in the midfield. You know, but like I said again, I feel like Italy will give Spain more of the ball. They have to, and they're going to use Barella and Chiesa to kind of create that movement. You know, and which is why Scamacca becomes really important, because he will play the role. Morata will play for Spain, and he is the one who's going to kind of create space for them to kind of cut in with back to goal. So I think that is what's important, which is why I feel Retigi, if at all he comes, he will come more as an impact sub. You know, when the legs are tired, somebody to run at them in the final third and kind of continue to press them. Also, what I kind of foresee is I feel like this Italian team will grow in the game. They will start a little slower. They will want to feel out what they do when they give Spain more of the ball. So I feel a lot of Italy, you know, the impact, the attacking prowess, I feel we will see from the 60th minute on. You know, for the first hour, it's going to be more just feeling out to see what Spain's capability is. All that said, I do think this version of Morata, you know, he's lacked a little bit of continuity on the club front. I feel he can be contained, and if we're able to kind of contain him, it will make Yamal and Williams' job a little harder.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think that's a very good point जो हमने अब तक touch upon नहीं किया था कि for youngsters, both of them, especially Yamal, the burden is a lot कि वो directness लाना है आपको to support Morata. There is a lot of burden. So that's a very good point. Ajay, I'll come to you. I know you're saying midfield, but what's your reason?
Yeah, I think I'll just quickly wrap it up. Mostly agree with that. I feel that subs will be very important for Spalletti. Mere subs, I feel that even El Sharawi could come on. He's got the legs to kind of, you know, run the clock down and add that extra dimension. It's going to be like, you know, it's going to be a very interesting game. It all depends on how Italy start actually for the first 20 odd minutes. So mere hisab se that like you know, to answer your question, it is clearly that midfield battle that Italy have to win to get something out of the game. Having said that, like we'll get into predictions later, but even a draw at this point wouldn't be the end of the world for either teams.
I agree with you. By the way, I'm seeing very interesting comments. We are getting to those once again, Chintan bhai's opinion. And we'll also, since somebody has asked, we'll take predictions for tonight's game as well. Might as well do it. Chintan bhai, aap pe aata hu. For you, where is this one?
Yeah, I think this, as everyone said, midfield battle. But I'm not going to pay too much. Like, as of course, not going to pay too much attention to that, in that sense that we know that we have to stay in there. For me, I think if your defense holds out here, if you don't let them get in, don't give them that space, close them down, I think Spain will get frustrated. Make them use their second approach, make them go more direct. Okay, that way Yamin Lamal and Nico Williams will be tested against our wing backs. So midfield battle, of course, is very crucial. But for me, I think midfield battle more or less, हमको पता है, we are going to be chasing shadows more or less. Pedri को close down करना है, उसके he's into through balls, उसके through balls have closed down the channels for me. So I feel if we hold out our defense, and just DJ said, I agree, the game is Italy is going to first feel out the game. So I feel our defense can sense something that okay, we need to hold this line. Italy will, of course, I'm not saying they're going to go for a draw, but they want to go for a 1-0 victory. So they're going to keep it 0-0 as long as possible as they want, I guess. So for me, I think if Italian defense can close this thing out, I think that's where where Italy can definitely win this game.
Yeah, and I think आप सबने बराबर से sum up किया. One thing I'll just add is कि Donnarumma is going to be very crucial because what I saw Fabian Ruiz doing for that second goal, those intricate movements, Spanish players are capable of that. A lot of their forwards, not just because they're Spanish or something, but their technical level is very high. So I think Donnarumma has to be massive here. मतलब जो saves कर रहा है, that has to come. Ajay, I will quickly take the comments and with predictions के साथ wrap up कर लेते हैं. Vishu says Italian पहले था उसमें जितना मुझे याद है second goal मारा था. I think it was. Yeah, Ravindra says 4-3-3 would be the right choice for us. I think we need to dominate the midfield, and for that we need players that can play well in possession. I'm thinking a midfield of Pellegrini, Fagioli, Jorginho. Any quick opinion? Do you guys agree with that? Any one of you?
Fagioli isn't fit, right?
हाँ, fitness पे depend करेगा. But let's assume he's 100% fit.
How can you put Barella out, man, of that midfield?
That I completely lost track of that. That's a good question. I mean,
Barella should be the like. I think he meant Barella is up front, I'm assuming.
Maybe I think that's what he mean because Barella को आप कैसे निकाल सकते हो? आप इंजन हटा रहे हो. Barella himself in the comments says supporting my bro Hakana, of course, yeah. Vishu says the match versus Germany in 2016. Good callback. Barella says anyone who remembers that game against England in World Cup 2014, Pirlo, that game was just pure gold. हाँ यार, वो तो मस्त था.
That tournament Pirlo was pure gold, man.
Yeah, pure gold, exactly.
That was the last game that Italy won, by the way, in a World Cup, 2014.
Oh my God, yeah. When you put it into perspective,
man.
Yeah, that's sad. Bhutia 69 says any random prediction? हाँ, prediction पे तो आ ही रही है, उसके साथ ही बोल देंगे.
नहीं, random. I have a random prediction. Like I said, probably El Sharawi to score.
यार कोई भी मार दे चलेगा. Barella says Pirlo is always a Juventus legend for me. Guys, you all might see UCL as a parameter, but Pirlo at Juventus is the greatest deep lying playmaker ever. That's a good point here. At least I'm glad, despite being a rival fan, you're being fair in that assessment. मतलब this is good to see. I mean, आपने वो तो बराबर से acknowledge किया. UCL हो या ना हो, he's definitely, obviously, you can make a case कि he's the greatest deep lying playmaker ever. Very good point.
No, also, but to that point, he's won the Champions League. So, it's not that he's short of any. He's won the World Cup.
He went Juventus
at Juventus.
legend.
हाँ, Juventus के साथ वो prime में. But you're obviously right. He's won it. Bhutia 69 says, guys, please like the video. Others, even I don't know what will happen. हाँ यार, अगर आप आ ही गया तो like कर लो. 14 people still with us. Subscribe. We are on the road to 600. तो पहुंचा दो जितना जल्दी पहुंचा सकते हो उधर. Where did we go? I think I lost his comment. Where did मिल गया? Ravindra Prasad says the last time in Euros, Italy wanted to dominate them in terms of possession, but we weren't able to. I don't think Spalletti is going to play on the back foot, so we need players that can play under press. But obviously, Barella is that player that can play under press, right? So, definitely, Alu Biryani, honestly, the guy I'm afraid of is Fermin. If he comes off the bench, so clutch and a goal-scoring midfielder. Youth talent, मतलब एक level पे यार उनका. Omar Sami says Italy's defense shouldn't face Yamal at 1v1 situation. Yamal can beat anyone at 1v1. Don't give him space. यार. You can say the same for Nico Williams, to be fair. Honestly, Barella, bro, Spain literally owning us after that game in Euro semi-finals, back-to-back loss in Nations League. वो था वही. Omar Sami says Italy.
But again, guys, we're in a very different journey in our cycle as a team. The life cycle has changed again. So this Italian team is on the up. We got to stay positive. Also, in these big tournaments, what typically happens is that you've got to peak at the right time. It's not the form you come in with. It's the form that you create as you go. And I think that first little shimmer that we've seen against Albania is the perfect starting point, which is why this Italy-Spain game is going to be so interesting. In many ways, it's going to be the defining game for the team that wins going forward in the tournament. It's that form-driving game, where you will begin your journey to peak at the right time.
I agree. That's a very good point. And Italy has to find a way to stop Pedri's ball providing ability at the final that he plays as a number 10 at Spain. He's the one who will provide ball to Yamal. Definitely, you're right. Uski progression bhi अच्छी है ball की. Bhutia 69 says even Morata doesn't know what he will do. So how can defend splitting? Omar Shami says
that's true though.
Yeah,
that's very true.
That is Morata for you.
I think everyone
who's
seen Morata play in that Croatia game, you thought he's going to miss it. I thought he's going to miss it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Fermin scored 11 goals, not even playing most of the game. He's very good in goal scoring from. हाँ यार, वही बोल रहे हैं ना कि options बहुत है इनके पास. Off
बहुत सही
topic,
है.
quick question. But who is winning between Turkey, Georgia today? Yildiz versus Quarant. हाँ, वो prediction में ले लेते हम लोग end में फटाफट से. Piyush Singh says Gavi will be a miss in frontline pressing. Let's see if Pedri and Fabian Ruiz can do enough pressing consistent road. Good point. Because Fabian Ruiz is not really known for his out and out pressing as well. Very good point. Omar Sami says Italy should focus on set pieces. They are more physical, long, and again Mancini. This is where he comes in, right, Chintan bhai? He has scored these goals, headers. So good point again.
Against us only, man.
Yeah, quick question. Because yes, Matt Hummels is linked. Talks chal rahi hai. He's kept Mallorca on hold, but Ajay bhai, your thoughts? Because he's kept put Mallorca on hold for Roma. So what do you think?
Not happening. Not happening. Just
why? Give
paper
a reason.
एक तो पैसा नहीं है. You need to offload Smalling. That's not going to happen.
हाँ, वो होने पे.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. And I don't believe Roma press. To be very honest, like they are the first.
It's coming from Sky Italia as well. So
yeah, by the way, they said that Milan rejected also. I don't know what are we doing, but yeah.
Not happening.
Unless maybe Smalling leaves, you never know. It is wouldn't rule it out, but I guess Ajay bhai is not optimistic. Barella says anyone who remembers Pirlo event, हाँ यार, मतलब वो orange jersey में classic थोड़े clips इधर उधर देखे थे. Our third kit was based on that only. Brozovic and Perisic were coming for you. अरे हाँ. But I think predictions पे जाते हैं. Sorry, Rahul Dwivedi says thank you Calcio Charcha for this love from Nepal. I'm glad you liked it, यार. मतलब thank you for joining in. And I'm glad if you can spread the word. Nothing like it. Thanks for tuning in. But predictions पे आते हैं. डीजे भाई आपसे स्टार्ट करता हूँ. पहले तो इटली गेम ले लेते, बाद में ये दो गेम्स आज के ले लेते. स्पेन इटली और प्रेडिक्शंस एंड देन वी गो टू टर्की, जॉर्जिया एंड पोर्चुगल, चेक रिपब्लिक.
Very tricky one, guys. Very, very tricky. It's a heart and mind situation. I feel like Italy has the ability to surprise this team. This Italian side has the ability to surprise Spain. I'd like to go with a 2-1 Italy, but I think the mind kind of says it'll perhaps be a very crunch 1-1 draw.
Fair enough.
But it'll be either way, it'll be a surprising Italian performance.
Fair enough. And for the other two games, any quick predictions you have for Turkey, Georgia right now?
I think Turkey, Georgia. I would go with Turkey to kind of pip it. Quara's a danger, obviously he is, but Turkey's got a little bit more experience. I'd go with a Turkey win. 2-love to Turkey, and I'd go with a. I feel like Portugal will have a little bit of a struggle against this Czech team, but Portugal to pip it. 2-1.
Fair enough. Ajay bhai, coming to you for all three games, starting with the Italy ka game, of course.
Spain 2, Italy 2, entertaining draw. My man crush from another era, Vincenzo Montella, Mr. Montella's Turkey to win. At least by 2-goal cushion against Georgia. And Portugal, Czechia is going to be very interesting. 3-2 to Portugal. It's going to be goals. I hope after the United Tray jinxed it. I think we've had some poor games in the Euros. But
उसका
I think that trend is
उसका jinx गया ना, UCL फाइनल में उसका jinx गया ना अजय भाई.
अब वापस आ गया ना, ये Euros became boring in the last time. But आज I think both games will be goal fest.
Fair enough. Chintan bhai, over to you.
I'm leaning towards a draw too. I think it might be a draw. Yeah. I think it's a 2-2 draw. Or I won't be surprised if Spain nicks this. I think Spain might nick this because I think Italy might overdo it. That's my problem and my concern. They might overdo the passing. And my concern is that they might... so I'm guessing a 2-2 or a 2-1 Spain. For Turkey, I think... I think Georgia is an interesting team, but I think Turkey will take it. And 2-0, Hakan to miss a penalty. I hope.
Barella, you need to now ditch Chintan as your favorite guy. समझ गया तू?
And I think Portugal has too much flair. I know Czech team is amazing. Ajay's favorite Patrick Schick might definitely score a goal there. He's going to score a goal, but I think Leao, Jota, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Felix flair is too much. I think they'll win 2-0.
Fair enough. And Param, just to shortly give I think draw ही होगा. Spain Italy 1-1 pick करो, because I agree always with DJ Bhai's point कि this character of the Spanish side is what I think will basically come clutch. Mostly tactical तो हम जितना भी discuss कर सके तो कर लेंगे, but I think Chintan is a fraud, so but yeah, I think the character will see them through 1-1 draw, and I think for tonight's games, Turkey just narrows edges past Georgia 1-0 because Turkey का ये है ना, आप expectation एक रखते हो पर performance एक आता है.
हाँ,
And I
वो
think
तो है.
Portugal will start on a strong foot because मैं अजय भाई को वही फनी स्टोरी बोल रहा था एक कि चेक रिपब्लिक इज इन दिस फेज यार. उनका एक मेन मिडफील्डर है साडी लेग करके. He is very important and he got injured while cycling in his leisure time and he's out for the Euros. And I'm like, ये team है यार, मतलब. So I think all the like they're just in a very bad phase, and I think Portugal will win like 2-0 or 3-0. But I think we'll go to comments and close this, Ajay bhai. We'll start with this first prediction where Deepu says Spain 2-1 Italy. Fair enough. Definitely Spain is very good, so we can see that happening. This panel is equal to Pirlo's long pass gold. Thank you. I mean, सही है, अच्छे comparison है. Piyush Singh says 2-2 for Spain Italy. Deepu says 2-1 Turkey Georgia and Portugal 3-0 Czech Republic. Fair enough. Barella says 3-1 Spain winning it. अरे बाप रे, मतलब इतनी बड़ी बातें करके एंड में प्रेडिक्शन ही उल्टा हो गया.
अरे खुद खेलने जाने वाला है तो क्यों हारेगा भाई.
No worries my boy Hakan is, मतलब इसको Hakan पे ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया खुद पे. Chintan is an undercover Inter Barella fan, guys. Ravindra Prasad says Barella, bold prediction I know, but I feel Italy will win 3-0 against Spain.
3-0.
They won't know what hit them. It's going to be a masterclass of Scamacca and a bloodbath for the Spanish defense. I guess Italian fans hope करेंगे आप सही हो. I mean, if you're right, definitely we'll make sure to display this comment like throughout the next stream, I guess. Definitely.
Guys, no, but it will. Maybe let's not focus on the number of goals. It'll be a surprising Italian performance, though. This feeling is definitely, kind of coming through.
Maybe we can print a T-shirt with that tweet.
Why not? Screenshot to ले लिया, so definitely. I mean, not for the bad. If you're right, definitely you will get a full shout out. Yeah, I hope you're right. Perm, you remember इंटर लेजेंड बेचारे यार, मत याद दिला यार उस बैंटर एरा की. हो गया, उसको बहुत रिलीव कर लिया यार अभी. मतलब ये होता है, सबका टफ टाइम होता है, बट डोंट वांट टू delve into it. Chintan is a fraud. Pavel says Portugal might have a goal fest tonight. Rahul Dwivedi says Italy 3-1 Spain. Another bold prediction. Again, we can only hope you're right यार. Bro, we got no chance against Spain, but I hope. ठीक है. So I guess कोई और comments नहीं अजय भाई. We'll close on this note. Thank you guys again, as always. We appreciate आपकी contribution. 11 people still here. बहुत मजा आया. छोटी stream थी. Obviously, keep an eye out for the content we are planning to dish out over the next couple of days. Watch along है game का. तो उस time do try to tune in. And let's hope Italy wins. Any closing words from you guys? Anyone? DJ bhai, Chintan, Ajay bhai.
Forza Italia.
Forza Azzurri. Come on.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Ale Azzurri.
So I guess the night has started on a very chaotic note. Deepu says fight between Georgian and Turkish fans. Arey baap re. So I guess that's it. Yeah. I think we'll close this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, Hakan ko nahi bhulunga Barella. देखेंगे. But we appreciate it, and do keep an eye on the channel. And just to plug in Ajay Bhai's channel, I'll just show it briefly on the screen because I think it's better I show it only. Ajay Bhai, just quickly share kar lo yaar. Sorry, I shared the wrong thing. Just give me a second. I'll just share his channel because I think. Yeah, here you go. This is Ajay Bhai. You just whatever you want to plug in regarding your channel.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I appreciate all your support. Do give this a subscribe. I post about football, obviously, Roma, Italy, Serie A, the Premier League, and also on the cricket. The T20 World Cup is on, and Copa America is around the corner as well. So watch out for the space. Appreciate if you can subscribe and spread the word. Nothing like it, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Definitely, yeah. And yeah, thank you, guys. We appreciate it as always, as we just said, and see you around the next time. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.